Business Faros in the building. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about gotcha revenue. And the reason why I'm doing this is because it's very important for you guys to understand, not only understand, but it's very important for you guys to be aware if, a gotcha game is being successful, if, the game, if they're generating revenue, because at the end of the day, everything is run by money. Money is pretty much the backbone everything you see around you. And if a company or if a game isn't generating enough revenue, then the game is cooked. So we're pretty much going to take a look at Tower of God New World revenue. So last time I, checked out the Tower of God New World revenue was I think a couple weeks back. And I said I think it was around like $500,000 that they made for the month of September. But that was that wasn't the total amount though. That wasn't the full total amount, which is crazy. So when I come down over here, actually we just search up Tower of God. Actually, we're just gonna look for it over here. We scroll down and you guys can see Tower of God New World. So you guys can see that in the month of I think this is the month of August. Yes, for the month of September. So for the month of August, Tower of God made $1.3 million. And then for the month of September, they made $1.2 million. So when I went over the Dev Note 15, some people commented saying, is the game doing well? Why are they giving us so many free stuff? Everybody's worried. Guys, there is nothing to worry about. The game is doing perfectly fine. And this is a Netmarble game we're talking about here. If you're comparing this game to Hoyoverse, of course, Hoyoverse games, they generate more revenue. Like, Hoyoverse is just peak revenue. Like, they make a lot of money. But when it comes to Netmarble, they're nowhere near Hoyoverse's level when it comes to generating revenue. But for a Netmarble game, this is actually pretty good. Because for most Netmarble games, when I come back over here and we just look for, a random Netmarble game. Let's say, if I scroll back up over here, let's just search up 7 Deadly Sins. Actually, no. Yeah, 7 Deadly Sins, right? The 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. You guys can see that for global, 7 Deadly Sins made $1.9 million in August 2024. But for September, they made $2 million. So the fact that Tower of God is literally, right behind 7 Deadly Sins is actually very, very good. So this game is actually doing pretty solid for a Netmarble game. And you guys can see for the month of August in 2023, this game made $10 million. That's actually crazy. $10 million on global release is insane. But I think when it comes to gotcha games, global release always makes a ton of money. Like when we go back to 7 Deadly Sins, we take a look at 7 Deadly Sins again. 7 Deadly Sins made like 5 million January 2024. Well, I'm pretty sure this game, it came way before that. So if I'm pretty sure I can find like the oldest date. I don't think I can because the game came out March 2nd, 2020. But unfortunately, I can't find it. But it seems like, yeah, I can't find it. Unfortunately, I can't find the global release revenue for 7 Deadly Sins. But the fact that Tower of God was able to generate $10 million on global release is crazy. Like, that's actually insane. When we take a look at Sword of Convalaria, this game came out like, I think, a couple months ago. It came out a couple months ago of August 1st, 2024. This game generated $4 million. So, hey, that's actually impressive for Tower of God New World. They made a lot of money in this game. They made a lot. And when we look at all the months, like the lowest amount of money they ever made in a game was 700K. And even 700K is still impressive because you look at games like Tower Fantasy, that game is doing terrible. Like when we come back over to Tower Fantasy, got 550K, like Tower Fantasy is doing absolutely horrible now. So the fact that Tower of God New World is generating more revenue than Tower Fantasy says a lot. Even in the global version right here, you guys can see Tower Fantasy, it made $6 million. I think this was a 2022, I think. I think it was 2022, maybe. I might be wrong here. But look at how much money they're making now. It's like 300K, and then they made 190K on July. It's pretty bad. But for New World, we're sitting around $1.2 million. And you guys remember, for Trauma Ray, the reason why they made a lot of money on September is because of Trauma Ray. So many people spent money on him. So, they were able to generate a ton of revenue from that. Plus, you have to look at how many people download the game. So you guys can see for August, 120,000 people download the game on August. And then for September, 100K. So, a lot of people are downloading the game every month, which is really, really good. So they like the community and the player base is actually pretty huge for Tower of God New World. It's just that I feel like most people, they're just very quiet. Like they don't really, interact with the community. So, even though we have a lot of downloads, still like they probably left the game and they don't play it anymore. Who knows? But as long as they're downloading the game and actually playing the game, then that's all that matters. So, just because they're being generous and they're giving us, a special summon banner for SSR characters and for SSR plus characters, it doesn't mean that, the game is just like in a horrible state. And it's honestly sad how, you know, a company doing a good thing for the community is somehow weird. And I'm not blaming the players at all. Is I'm honestly blaming the devs because most, gotcha games, they always, try to like they always practice these pay to win tactics. Like it's just so annoying in every gotcha game. And the fact that for this game, they're giving us so many opportunities to invest in so many units. They're giving us so many rewards, and people are like, this isn't normal. We're not used to this. We're always getting screwed over by these games, but for once in a game, we're actually being treated right. Like they're actually treating us as they should treat us. They're treating us like a community. They're treating us like player base, and they're treating us really, really well. So I just think it's really sad. Like it's honestly sad the way these devs, the way these companies, corporates just treat their player base. They're always giving them, a tiny amount of resources in the game, and they just want people to spend money on a daily basis. But for Top Gun New World, it's like, nah, bro. They're giving us a free SSR every single day, a free SSR plus character every 5 days, special summon banner for SSR characters, increasing their rate to 3%, giving us a special banner for SSR plus characters. It's like, holy crap. Like that is just so good. And that's why when Trauma Ray got released into the game, I didn't really complain that much because it's fair. It's fair that, for Trauma Ray, he was pay to win. It's fair because they give us so many, free options in this game. And I say this all the time. Tower of God New World is by far the most free-to-play friendly game I have ever seen in my entire life. Like this game is so free-to-play friendly as a gacha game, it's insane. And the fact that Netmarble, they're the ones who made this game, it surprises me even more because you guys already know Netmarble, they have a pretty bad track record when it comes to their games. Like they're always, practicing scummy. Like they're always practicing shady tactics. Like they're always doing bad things in their games, which leads to people not playing their games anymore. Perfect example is Nino Kuni, right? Nino Kuni, that game is an absolute disaster. Nobody touches that game anymore because it was just terrible. Netmarble, they completely ruined that game. But when I look at Top God New World, it's like, damn, bro. Like they actually care about this game. Like at this point, I feel like Top God New World is their favorite. It's their favorite game. Like the way that they're treating us, every update, every month is just really, really good. And another game I also want to take a look at is solo leveling. So out of all the Netmarble games, solo leveling is making the most money. Like solo leveling is actually carrying Netmarble. You guys can see $40 million for global release. 40 million. That is crazy. And then for right now, they made a 6 million. So I will say throughout time, solo leveling, they're not generating as much money as they used to. But when it comes to gacha games, global release will always make the most money. Always. It happens all the time. So solo leveling is still doing good. What's another Netmarble game? I wish they had a filter right here. Let me see if I can find any other Netmarble games. Fortunately, it seems like they don't have any other Netmarble games in this revenue chart. It's only 7 Deadly Sins, a solo leveling and a Tower of God New World. So yeah, man, it's like whenever you guys see the devs giving us good things and an update, or whenever we read a dev note and they're pretty much giving us collaboration free units, doesn't mean that the game is doing poorly. It doesn't mean that the game is in a bad state. No, it just means that they get, like, the devs, they're just being generous. That's all there is to it. The devs, they're just being nice, and they just want to treat us like the way we should be treated, because the amount of times that we got absolutely screwed over by these gotcha games, it's insane. I'll say gotcha games have definitely increased after the pandemic. After the pandemic, like I'm not even after the pandemic, during the pandemic, gotcha games became famous because, you know, there wasn't a lot to do. Everybody was locked in their houses, everybody was locked in their homes, they couldn't do anything. So games like Genshin Impact, they became very popular, and ever since then, gotcha games, they've been a thing. So $10 million for global release is nothing to sleep on. This is a huge feat, especially for a Netmarble game. This is really, really huge. And the fact that they haven't, like, the fact that they're still generating great revenue, $1.2 million for September, and then for October, I don't even know how much money they made for October. We're gonna have to wait for the gotcha revenue to update their website. We have to wait and see when they updated to see how much money Netmarble made off of Tower God New World for the month of October. But for October, I feel like October we didn't make as much money because for Albelda, Albelda was a pretty, she was a free to play, like she was a free to play unit. Like, she really works with low copies. So I think a lot of people didn't really spend a lot of money on her, to be honest. And for Calivan, I feel like for Calivan, I think a lot of people did spend a lot of money on him because he does require a lot of copies, but at the same time, he's not a requirement. So it's kind of 50-50 for Calivan, but for Albelda, I'm 100% sure Albelda, nobody spent a single dime on this character. Some people probably did, but majority of the people, I'll say like 90% of the community didn't spend any money on her because she's just perfect without copies. So yeah, I feel like for the month of October, we're probably gonna make around like $1.1 million or uh $1 million. I don't know. And just let you guys know, just because nobody is spending money on the game doesn't mean that they're still not generating revenue. As long as you're playing the game, they're making money. Like, this person perfectly explains the game. A quite good and generous idol. Netmarble is this time extremely good, communicating a lot and really generous. Obviously, there's pay to win, it's an idol, but still, game is really generous and they really do listen. Exactly. It's like, that's all we ask for from these devs in these games. Just listen to us. Is it that hard to just open your ears and just listen to us? There's a reason why you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. It's to listen. And that's one of the main issues most of these companies have, is that they don't listen to the community. And when they don't listen, guess what? People just stop playing the game because it's obvious that the devs don't care. So we're not going to entertain your game anymore. We're not going to give you any more money since you don't care. But for Top God New World, they're constantly giving us updates, constantly releasing dev notes to, you know, inform us what's going to take place in the future, constantly asking for feedback, listening to us. Like, the SSR fix is just amazing to me. Like, it's so good, the fact that they're changed, like they actually listened and they fixed the SSR rate. They're like, you know what? I think the communities, they struggled enough. Let's go ahead and give them, you know, a SSR special summon banner so that they can actually get the new SSR unit that they want. Like, what else can you ask for? Like, that is so good. Most games don't even do that. Like, they'll, like, whenever the community complains about something, they'll be like, we don't give a fuck, man. Go touch grass. I don't care. And they don't listen. They literally just do the same thing over and over again. But this game, they're like, nah, bro. Let's listen to the community. They're the reason why we're making money. They're the reason why we made it this far. So therefore, let's treat them the right way. And look how much money they're constantly making. It's not as much as global release, but it's still a good amount. So revenue is looking good. The game is healthy. Nothing to worry about. Just because they're being nice and generous doesn't mean that the game is performing terribly. No, the game is doing perfectly fine. And like I said, it's really just sad how, you know, these companies, they are extremely predatory in the way that they treat their community, their player base. it's like it's so abnormal when you see these companies, these devs, when they actually do something good and generous. It's kind of sad. So, Tower of God New World, it's an exception to the rule. Most gacha games, like when we take a look at Genshin Impact, Genshin Impact, look how much money they be making, bro. Like, this is crazy. Like, it's still not as much as it used to make, but $27 million in 1 month is mind blowing to me. Like, this is just crazy. So, Genshin Impact is just on top. Like, it's on top of the food chain. Love in Deep Space. This is actually kind of insane to me. $55 million on this game, and then we look at January, 28 million. Like, who's spending money on this game? Like, I've never seen this game before. Like, I never heard about this game at all, and it's making $55 million. That's kind of crazy. So, Love in Deep Space, they're popping off. They're popping off. And it seems like this is a game about dudes. So it's probably girls who are playing this game. I have no idea. Probably girls who are, horny as fuck playing this shit. I have no idea. But yeah, when it comes to revenue, Tower of God New World is doing pretty well. So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about with you guys. And I will try to do this probably every month, just to inform you guys and let you guys know how the game is doing. Because some people do ask, is the game generating good revenue? Is the game healthy? So I will do this every month just to keep you guys updated. And I think that is good so that you guys can always be aware how the game is doing financially. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate it. You guys can see my fit. Even though I got on some shorts, I don't care. I'm that guy, bro. I'm him. I'm that nigga. But anyways, I'll be seeing you guys soon. Peace.